Hello, all my doll lovers out there. Today at Barbie Rocks, I am going to do a showcase of some of the dolls that I've actually picked up from the flea market, and just wanted to show you some of the things and the items I've just come back with. And I need some help. Barbie Rock usually doesn't ask for a lot of assistance, but today I need your help. The reason being is that I was at the flea market, and all you doll experts and lovers and enthusiasts, adult collectors out there, I need help. So I picked up this doll for, I think it was very, very little, but it fascinated me. I grabbed this doll, and although the vendor wanted $18 for it, I paid a lot less for it, but I put it in a plastic covering because I didn't want to damage this doll. For some reason, I felt that there was something of significance with this specific doll. Now, the reason I speak about it is, first of all, I need your help, all you doll lovers. Now, if we slowly look at this doll, we can see that it's quite primitively made. And I looked at the clothing, and I looked at how it was actually sewn together, and it has a heavy weight to it. It has some lithography, quite nicely done on the bottom or soles of the feet. And as I move my camera upwards, I'm looking at the fabric, and it has faded over time. You can see the blue inks coming off the fabric. And then I look at the top of the head, and it's got 3 pigtails. One, let's give a good clear look with my camera. So you can see the 3 pigtails. And there is 1, 2, 3. And then you can see the seam lines folded right here, how they've actually stitched the head onto the doll's body. And then I'm going to go and just show you the fabric, because sometimes the fabric can give away the time period the doll was produced. I'm looking at the fabric on the inside of how the doll was actually sewn together. Like I said, it is fairly thick, it's solid. So I think it's actually stuffed with some sort of material. It doesn't feel like hay, and it doesn't feel like straw. It does not feel like, it just feels like a soft material, sort of fabric material. Now let's just look at the way it's sewn together. So I was very intrigued by this doll. I did come across some other dolls too, as you can see in the background, but this one definitely intrigued me. So if I can get somebody to help me identify this doll, there's a marking on the doll's body, and it says Korean. It's a Korean doll, I think. 3 tails from the 1800s. Could that possibly be true? That this doll that I'm holding in my hands is a primitive doll. I don't know, handmade out of cloth. And I'm just going to give you a nice sneak peek at the way the ears are sewn together. You can see the intricate details of the stitching on this doll. Rather just fascinating. And look at the shape of the head as well. It has a very unusual shape. And if I look closely at the nose, can you see the nose? Made of this material. The eyes have been like transferred on or hand drawn in ink. Very primitively done. Look at the ears. Is that not fascinating how they just hand stitched ears and just rolled up fabric to produce the nose, and then you see the mouth. And as you can see, the mouth has 3 little hand stitched strings or threading here, and then it's all hand sewn. I believe it's hand sewn. It may be done by a machine, but look at the pigtails. So there are 3 pigtails on the head of this doll, and I want to handle it gentle, because the more I handle it, the reason being I wanted to sort of safeguarded in a fresh piece of plastic, because I'm thinking that this doll needs to be not handled as much and needs to be stored in order to retain its value. But anyways, help me identify this doll. I totally really appreciate it. So moving right along, I'm going to show you some of the other dolls I found at the flea market. Was this Roddy doll. Now, how many of you guys are into Roddy dolls? Roddy dolls are so fascinating to me for the fact that there's a little history about the Roddy dolls. And the Roddy Doll Company began its life as a Toy Time Toys Limited in Southport, UK, and in 1934 was owned by Mr. D. Todd. He was later joined by Mr. J. Ronson. The name Roddy, I'm going to give you a good look at this specific Roddy doll. The name Roddy was registered in 1948 and was delivered from both the directors' surnames. They had the names Rodnoid. Let's take a look at the doll's clothing. Previously on the dolls they made until another doll manufacturer complained because the name was already used by their company, so they didn't call them Rodnoid dolls, so they ended up calling them Roddy dolls. Now, they made Scottish dolls, they made vinyl dolls, but this one specifically is a plastic Roddy doll. Let's give you a good look at the plastic. And you can see it's got the molded legs. And what's good about this is if I move the legs, and her head will go back and forth. See, if I just kind of move this, you can see the rotation of her head going back and forth. And that's quite significant with the Roddy dolls. Let's take a good look at her face. I love the messiness of this mohair. It just really suits her. It makes her look so adorably cute. She has the eyes that rotate, so if I move her back and forth, they open and they close. And Roddy's just known for these little puffy cheeks. As you can see, she's got puffy cheeks, really beautiful makeup. And you can see the full red rouge cheeks as well as her lips. I'm loving this original dress that was found on this specific Roddy doll. I will not remove the original dress on this Roddy doll because here you can see her little panties, and then you can see the fabric. Because I think fabric is quite reminiscent of the time period of when certain dolls were in production. And I can tell you they are wonderful dolls. Okay, the other doll I picked up from this doll here. Now, I have no idea who she is because she had no markings on the back of her head. And what I did when I brought this doll home, I have to show you, I actually cleaned up this beautiful dress. I'm going to show you the layers. So I cleaned this up and I hand sewn some of the little areas which were frailing. But here you can see how beautiful the layers are on this. And for some reason, the doll companies back in the 1950s used the fabric of this nature. You can see the see-throughness of the fabrics, and you can see how it's just wonderfully layered on. And a lot of netting was used at the time with polka dots. Let's just show you this specific doll. This is a Canadian DNC doll. She's around 18 inches from the 1950s, and she has a wonderful outfit. And here again, they're using the motif of these little polka dots that comes all around the fabric, and then so many layers. Like here's another layer. Underneath, she has her pantaloons, which again matches the dress, and it's all done. You can see the lace at the bottom. And then she's got these really nice socks, but the layers are just great. So you've got 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, and she's a wonderful doll. I'm going to just show you her face mode and her beautiful eyes. And let's give you a good look at this specific doll. I'm loving the socks. Matches the dress. And there's the back of the dress. Just a wonderful doll. So I'm still trying to identify this doll. I have no idea which doll company. I'm not sure if it's Reliable or if it's a Canadian company. So I'm still going to do some research for, but anybody who can help me identify this doll, I'd appreciate it. I have another doll here, and like I said, this is from the 1950s, and look at the headband. You can see closely how really nicely done that is. You can see the fabric, and that's on her hair, and then you can see how wonderful and adorable this specific doll is. I'm going to show you her gown as well, and you can see how she has this layers of fabric cascading downwards, and she's an adorable doll. I found a little bonnet on her with a little bit of a pink teddy bear that I think would match her. She is gorgeous, and here is what she looks like on the stand. And I believe that I still got the price tag on her. I've just actually thrifted all these dolls and just really wanted to showcase to you some of these dolls. Now, I'm thinking that is her original shoes. Let's have a good look at the shoes. I'm thinking that is her original shoes, and looking fabulous. But these beautiful dolls are just, I just had a really delighted time just rescuing them. This one is a softer plastic, meaning that it's bendable, it's rubbery, and it's pliable, and it's soft and nice. And the difference with this is a plastic doll, and she is around the 18-inch in height. But this doll has a different type of plastic. So I'm just showing you, it's got a very strength and sturdiness to the plastic. It doesn't have the softness to the skin, and you can't put your fingers and squish it. So that's the difference. And look, she also has, as you can see, a really nice teeth. And look, can you see that little tongue? She has some sort of a velvet type cloth in the tongue here area here. Can you see that? And she's got teeth that are showing outside, and she's just remarkable. After I've taken her home, washed it up and cleaned up, and cleaned the dress up, I think she just looks magnificent. What's good about this doll, I've got to show you how complete this dress is, because if you look at it, it's really full. It's a dress that has layers and layers, and it has a puffiness or poofiness, which makes the doll very attractive. And when I found this doll at the flea market, it also came with these two little shoes, and I cleaned them all up, washed them up, so they have a nice look, and they go on the doll. So another doll I wanted to mention in this little quick video was this doll here I picked up. I've got a few baby dolls that I wanted to showcase. Here we have a doll, this baby doll I also picked up. And I just thought, what an adorable doll. I think I paid a toonie for this doll. The vendor didn't just really wanted to give it away. He wasn't really into dolls and told me I can have it for, I think it was like a toonie. But so I did some research on this doll, and you can see the markings on the back of this doll. It's a Viceroy Sun Ruko doll made in Canada, patent pending. And you can see the molded hair piece on this doll. You can see the face, and you can see the hair on the top of the doll. Beautiful eyes, beautiful lips. And the thing about it is, I noticed that it has a hole in its mouth. And then I noticed the bottom here, like I was just looking over the doll, and there's a hole in the back. So meaning that I think what would happen is you could actually, the little girl could put a bottle with water into the baby's mouth, and right here, here's the exit point for it. But as you can see, the material is some sort of composition. It is not wood, but it's a composition. You can see how the arms are cracking. If we take a closer look, and you can see how the doll has been molded, and most likely a sort of composition is how this doll is made. Now the patent is pending. The patent is pending for this doll, but quite a nice addition. Moving right along, I had to showcase a few other things that I wanted to talk about. Is when you're out there collecting, some of the things I look for are like dresses. Here is a cute, like a really adorable dress I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to look at the stitching here. And you can see how finely and in border the stitches are done on this dress. Now, I've showcased this doll in a video prior, but here is an up-close look at the doll. And you can see how it has been, I think that's airbrushed in terms of how they painted the hair. And you can see all the lovely swirls. She does have the tin eyes, so if we rock her back, she will close for you. And you rock her forward, she opens. And like I said, we're going to look into her mouth. I would love to repair and repaint the lips, bring it back to life. And again, can you see? She too has the tongue on the inside and some teeth right inside. Just like this doll here, I've mentioned, she has the tongue and the teeth. And then over here, I did some research on the little dress, which is sort of sewn onto the doll. It originally came with the doll, and with this doll, I also found this adorable bonnet. If you can find these really intricate patterns and the embroidery and the workmanship done on these wonderful bonnets, it's a real bonus to try to find these and add it to your doll collection, because it really brings out the doll itself. And I am also going to show you the embroidery work on this beautiful hat. You can see how I've got all these little embroidery works that's done on the doll, and it's got a lot of lace on the bottom. And I think it's just a wonderful piece to add to your collection. I'm loving that. I think it's just wonderful. But this doll, I found out, I did a bit of research on the clothing, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you some of the vintage clothing you can collect in dresses. Now this doll, the dress was made in the Hong Kong Rison Yichong Co. in Kowloon, Hong Kong. She's around a 14-inch doll from the 1950s. She has the metal tin eyes, and I believe she's a 1940s reliable doll. So here she is. I have showcased her before, but thought you guys would be interested. So I wanted to bring to your attention to keep an eye out for these vintage dresses you may come across out at flea markets or when you're thrifting. This is a wonderful piece. It is an early piece from the I would say dated around the 1930s, just looking at the pattern of this dress. And pattern always tells you a little bit about the circa and year that the dress was made or the doll was produced. I'm loving this. I think it's great. It's on a doll that I had showcased before. And this doll is from Germany, and I've mentioned this before. She's a Heinrich Hendrik Simon Helbig 19-inch doll, and she's got some really beautiful blue eyes. I've actually showcased her before, but I wanted to bring attention to the dresses, because finding these remarkable dresses is such a treat if you get a chance to restore, repair, and save these dresses from the years gone by. I love the vintage dresses and thought I would bring that to your attention to try to collect these dresses, because they are actually wanted. There are adult doll collectors who are after the beautiful clothing that you find on these dolls. And this one here is just beautiful. So I think the last doll I wanted to talk about is this doll here. She is a doll that was made in Korea. And she is a 10-inch porcelain doll. And all I know about this doll is that she's all porcelain. Her body is porcelain. And her hands are porcelain. You can see the porcelain in the back of this doll. She has these really like strong legs. Again, they're all made of porcelain. She was a nice addition to add to my collection. I thought she was quite intriguing and very cute. I'm loving the fabric. You can see the fabric on this doll. You can see her hand-painted face. And she's got like this overskirt, which you can pull up, off, or on, whatever suits your fancy. And then she's got a scarf which can be removed or replaced. I'm just going to remove it so you get an idea of what she looks like without the scarf. And there's her beautiful face. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm loving the workmanship of the hand-painted paint on the porcelain face. You can see the hair. Kind of looks like one of the Hummel figurines from Germany. But this doll is made in Korea. She comes with a scarf, and I'm loving that find. So, from Barbie Rocks, I hope you enjoyed this little session on the dolls. I was thrifting, coming back from one of my thrift hauls, and doing a bit of a kind of presentation for you. So I hope you enjoyed these dolls that I was able to find today. And I am hoping you guys stay safe and healthy and happy. And I'm going to see you all in the next video. Bye for now from Barbie Rocks.